Okay, so today we are tackling something that can feel like a huge, intimidating mountain for anyone wanting to make the UK their home, the Life in the UK test. But I promise you, it's not as scary as it sounds. Think of this as your map to the top. Let's get right into it. So, what is this test really? It's a key step on your journey to getting British citizenship or settling here. And look, let's be real, it can feel like just one more thing to worry about. But the good news? It's not designed to trick you. With the right prep, you can absolutely walk in there and pass. The most important thing to get straight is that this is not some kind of intelligence test. Not at all. Its real job is to make sure you have a handle on the stuff that helps you fit in and be a part of society here. It's about understanding the foundations that everyone shares.
Let's break down the numbers, because that makes it feel much more manageable. The whole test? It's just 24 multiple choice questions. That's it. No long essays to write, no complicated answers to figure out. Just pick the right option. Simple as that.
And you get 45 minutes to do it. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but if you do the math, that's almost 2 minutes for every single question. Honestly, most people find they have plenty of time to answer everything and even go back and double-check their work. And here's the magic number you need to remember: 75%. That's the passing score. In other words, you have to get at least 18 of those 24 questions right. See, you don't need to be perfect, you just need to show you have a good, solid grasp of the material. So how in the world do you prepare for those 24 questions? Well, you need a plan, a map. And luckily, all the information you need to know can be broken down into 3 main pillars. If you can get your head around these 3 areas, you are going to be in great shape. So let's dive into the first one. Pillar number 1 is all about the UK story, its history. And you might be thinking, why do I need to know about stuff that happened hundreds of years ago? Well, because you really can't understand how the UK works today, its laws, its government, even its culture, without knowing how it all got started. It's the backstory for everything else. This timeline isn't just a boring list of dates, I promise. It's actually a pretty epic story. You've got the Romans showing up and laying the groundwork with roads and laws. Then the Normans come in and start building the kind of government we'd recognize. After that, you've got this centuries-long power struggle between the king and the people, which eventually leads to democracy. Then, boom, the Industrial Revolution changes everything, and that sets the stage for the modern Britain we know today. You can see how one thing leads directly to the next. Just take the Magna Carta from way back in 1215. This wasn't just some old, dusty document. It was a game changer. It introduced this crazy idea that nobody, not even the king, is above the law. That one single idea is the direct ancestor of your right to a fair trial today. It's a straight line from that field in 1215 right to the modern justice system. Pretty cool, right? And all that history, it leads us straight into Pillar 2, understanding how the UK is actually run today. This part is all about the nuts and bolts of the government, the laws, the politics, and all the systems that keep the country moving. Right at the center of it all is Parliament, and it's split into 2 parts. You can think of the House of Commons, the one with elected members, as the engine room. They have the real power, they make the big decisions, they propose the laws. But then you have the House of Lords. Think of them as the expert review panel. They're appointed, and their job is to look at those laws, poke holes in them, and suggest improvements. It's a really important system of checks and balances. Now, here's a quirky thing about the UK. Unlike the US, there isn't one single constitution document you can read. Instead, it's this living, breathing system built on a few really big ideas. There's parliamentary sovereignty, which means Parliament is the top dog when it comes to making laws. Then there's the rule of law, that idea from the Magna Carta again. And there's also something called devolution, which is just a fancy way of saying that some powers are handed down to Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And that brings us to our third and final pillar. And honestly, this is probably the most important one for you on a day-to-day basis. This is where we take all that big picture history and government stuff and connect it directly to your life here, your rights, your duties, and your place in British society. So what holds it all together? These core values. You've got the big ones like democracy and the rule of law. But what makes a diverse country like the UK really tick are the other 3. Individual liberty, the freedom to be you, and balancing that with mutual respect and tolerance for other people, even if they have different beliefs. They all have to work together to function. This slide really says it all. It's a 2-way street. On one side, you get all these amazing rights like freedom of speech and the right to a fair trial. But on the other side, you've got responsibilities that make it all possible. Things like obeying the law, paying your taxes to fund public services, and this is a big one, respecting the fact that everyone else has those same rights too. So there you have it. That's your map. Your path to passing this test is really just 3 simple steps. First, get comfortable with the format, know the numbers. Second, really learn the material from those 3 pillars we talked about: the story, how it works, and daily life. And finally, the most important step: practice, practice, practice until you feel confident enough to walk in there and ace it. Look, the life in the UK test is a big deal, I get it, but it is absolutely something you can do. Thousands upon thousands of people pass it every single year, and it brings them one giant step closer to building their future here. So really, the only question left to ask is, are you ready to take your next step? And if you are ready to get started, a fantastic way to prepare is with the Life in the UK Test 2026 guide. It's packed with practice questions and all the key facts we've gone over today. You can grab the book on Amazon right now, and what's really cool is that an audiobook version, narrated by Tom Brooks, is coming to Audible soon. Perfect for studying while you're on the bus or making dinner. It's a great tool to make sure you're ready to go.